What's up everybody, Super here with a super late night tutorial. This one is part 2 of the whole modeling tutorial that I did. It's gonna be a little different. I'm gonna go over a few things that some people don't explain when using 3D Simmed and importing those or exporting those into KS Editor. There's just a few things I would like to go over. I think I brought it up in the previous videos, but this is going to be hopefully a short video on how to wheel swap your cars, put any wheel on any car, and then fix the offset and do all that stuff. So let's get cracking. So I have been working on this ZR1 drag build that I am falling in love with. This was a very popular mod that I had in Forza Horizon 5 that I built, and this is kind of a revamp to it. It is not done, but we're getting places. But the first thing that you can see that is clearly a sore thumb is the wheels. They gotta go. They are just atrociously ugly. I hate them. They're gross. They're ugh. We'll throw some gauges and stuff in it later, but today we're going to be focusing on the wheels, the rims, and all that stuff. So, without further ado, let's jump into 3D Simmed. Alright, here in 3D Simmed we have the ZR1, and we're going to get rid of these completely, but before we do so, we need our parts car. So we're going to grab this one, which has some beautiful, I think these are welds? Yep. Got some welds on these. Also, if you double click on objects, you can, what's it called? I can't think of the word. You can focus on that object. So say we want to focus on, I don't know, the front, and you're messing with the front headlights, and you really want to get in there and get all the little things, but you know. Okay, so first things first, we're going to make a folder, okay? We are going to make a new folder. We're going to go to our parts. We're going to go to our wheels, and we are going to name these welds. Okay, these are where our tires are going to go from our parts car. Also, I recommend closing Assetto Corsa down because I run into issues to where it freezes and it stutters and it's disgusting and so annoying. So let's hop into here. What you're going to want to do, right click object. You can start with any tire. I'm going to start with the fronts. I usually work front to back. So we'll do this. We will isolate this object. We will go to export. We will go to plugin export, and we will go to our parts folder that we just made. I highly recommend making a parts folder. Trust me, you're going to want to. So go into our welds, and we will save it. And we'll do that. So you're gonna hit that door icon to replace wheels, welds, and we're gonna click this, and hopefully, there you go. Now the only thing that you're gonna have to do is change the offsets. So you're gonna have to, don't change it in here. Don't go in here and, you know, don't go doing all this shit. It's gonna screw everything up. So we're not gonna go ahead and do that. All right. If you want to, which I do recommend doing, you are only transferring over the wheel. You are not transferring over the rotors, the brake pads, really anything. There are no brake pads on this. If you want to, it's literally just an object, but we're going to kind of ignore, these, pretend that they're not here, all right? So we're gonna do the back tires, same thing. I'm gonna do all these tires, and I will see you guys when it's done. All right, we got all of the tires put on, and like I said, everything's gonna look a little funky. So honestly, what I'm gonna be doing is probably getting rid of these everything brake related to this is just gonna get removed. Also, while I'm in here, if you do decide to do a rotor swap, so here, you'll notice the name is disc right rear. If you were to swap with something like this, right, which is what I'm putting on this one, and it says hub, they cannot be named hub. And you notice how these, it's all connected. This is also going towards the rims, but if you don't have to worry about this, don't worry about it. That can't be that. That is right. These are right, okay? So you could just take this and do it, but just remember that it does have to have that disc right rear, disc left rear, you know, it has to have the proper names or else it is not going to spin, it's not going to work, it's going to look weird. It's just going to be a solid object. So I just thought I would mention that as well. Everything has to have the same name. So what I'm going to do is now export this. I'm just going to put it in there because I'm going to know where it's going to be. And now we're going to jump into KS Editor, and I'm going to show you something very important. And if I were you, I would make a backup of your car, because if you don't like the way it looks, I would highly suggest making a backup. And a way you can do that is you can click this, Control C, Control V. There's your copy, that's your backup. Or you can make a backup folder in here, which I do recommend. So either or, you have a safe spot. So if you want to replace this one, you would delete this and you would just remove the copy dash. Okay, now that we're in KS Editor, I do want to point something out. This is very important, and it needs to get done. A lot of people don't know about this, and this is why some mods look like shit, because people don't do this. There are things in games called shadows. You see right here where it says cast shadow. You see how it says cast shadow false? Click that, use your scroll wheel, set to true. Same thing with the tire, okay? I've already done the right side, I just need to do the left. Now, eventually, this is the wheels are going to be put in the right position because the brakes are connected to the tires. So if I were to even try to tune it, this is just going to stay the same. So I believe I'm going to have to do this within either here or in Blender, but hopefully I can do it within 3D Simmed. So we're going to go ahead and save this over our main. Once it's saved, load into Content Manager, and we can look at the car. Now you see how it kind of doesn't really have shadows, but it does have shadows. If it didn't have shadows, it would just look really weird. And I'll show you what I mean by the tuning perspective of it. So let me find here, and we'll go to data, and then we'll go to I think it's suspension. Okay, and I believe it is, I think it's the track. And you can do this real time, by the way. So if we go in here and we go to align, you see how it does that? Look, it takes everything with it. Actually, wait a minute. It does not take everything with it. Interesting. Okay. But I do think if I were to, let's see, bump this up to like that. Yeah, you see, it does take, it takes that with it. So we would have to go into, that's actually a perfect number, 1.8. It would probably be 1.7 to be honest with you, to make it look perfect. Maybe 1.75. I'll be here all day messing with this. It takes forever to do shit like this. But we need to go in and fix this. But honestly, that is the easiest way on how to swap tires. It's super easy. Dude, it takes like 5 seconds. I'm not even kidding. It takes you 5 seconds to swap tires. So just remember, if you have this issue, you're going to have to go back in here and you're going to have to move these out. And you're going to have to remember, so this is 0.785, and we need them to go out about right there, which is 0.9, but we'll push them in a little bit, so it'll probably be like 0.8 something or other. So don't forget to do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope everything helped. I hope this was a very useful tutorial. I hope it was a good one at that. But this is the getaway on how to swap rims and tires. So yeah, also please don't forget to do the shadowing. The shadowing applies to everything. Everything has a shadow, so everything does. The underneath the car, the engine, you know, this little thing, just everything has a shadow to it, so do not forget your shadows. That's all for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.